Mr. Chairman, I want to thank you again. And I want to thank all of our witnesses also for being here. Appreciate you all joining us. And I want to just start by just adding that, we know that across the world, minority communities, including Jewish people, Muslims, Christians, so many others, face intimidation, violence, and unequal protection under the law. Just this month, of course, we have seen disturbing and anti-Semitic and Islamophobic attacks just here in the United States due to the rising conflicts happening in the Middle East. Wadea Al-Fayoum, who was only 6 years old, was stabbed 26 times Saturday by his family's landlord in Plainfield Township, Illinois, for being Muslim. His mother, Hanan Shahin, also suffered more than a dozen stab wounds, and I know that all of us, our heart breaks for that tragedy and that horrific attack of hate. Now, as both a Catholic and a proud member of the LGBTQ+ community, I know how vulnerable minority communities can be here at home, but also abroad. And that means that the United States has a critical voice in that work. I think President Biden said it well in his inaugural address, that we'll lead not merely by the example of our power, but also by the power of our example. And freedom of religion, of course, is a core of who we are as a country. Now, our First Amendment says that Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Now, every member of this committee took an oath to uphold that constitutional principle, and I'm proud that in the last few years, we've expanded the cause of religious freedom across the world. We're rebuilding our State Department in this important work. Our work abroad, which had been decimated under the previous administration, has expanded in the rebuilding of the State Department. We've restored our global strategies that we can lead global coalitions of righteousness across the world. We've halted discrimination on the basis of religion in the U.S. immigration system by ending the bigoted Muslim ban. And the President, of course, established the Protecting Places of Worship Interagency Policy Committee, and congressional Democrats voted to provide the largest ever increase in funding for the physical security of nonprofits, including churches, mosques, synagogues, temples, and other houses of worship. Deborah Lipstadt, a Holocaust expert, is also serving as the first ambassador-level envoy to monitor and combat anti-Semitism across the world. Her work, of course, is needed now more than ever. The administration has done outstanding global faith-based outreach, like launching USAID's first ever strategic religious engagement policy. And religious engagement abroad is also a key priority, including for really critical programs like PEPFAR, the President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief, which of course is a coalition of faith and community initiatives that has saved millions of lives. Extremist groups and authoritarian governments work hard to spread their message of hate and attack the vulnerable. And of course, we confront that wherever that happens. And we also work to protect innocent people from danger wherever they are. And of course, as anti-Semitism rises, especially as we're seeing today. We also intend to stand up to China as they continue to repress the Uyghurs. The Democratic Congress passed the Bipartisan Uyghur Forced Labor Prevention Act, which was signed and implemented by President Biden. And we will continue to confront domestic extremist groups which threaten our religion and constitutional freedoms. Now, violent religious nationalism has been used to fuel human rights violations all over the world, including in Russia. We all know the role of the Russian Orthodox Patriarch of Moscow in legitimizing the Russian war in Ukraine. I also just want to note, just because I'm also Catholic, I just want to touch on sometimes the narrative that seems to be growing in some parts of the extreme right, that the Justice Department somehow is an anti-Catholic organization. Members have attempted to confront our Attorney General, whose family escaped religious persecution in Europe, with this allegation in hearings just last month. To be clear, the DOJ has never targeted traditional Catholics, and I don't believe ever will. This is just another attack to discredit the Department of Justice, as we know, and to shield the former president. Religious freedom is too important to be used as a political football. It's critical for our country. It's critical for the world. And I want to thank you all for being here today. And Mr. Chairman, I yield back.